others project. Could be the drawing from customer, draft concept drawing from customer, or any sketches by the salesperson after discuss with the customer, the line system and so on. So design input. 8.3.4, 8.3.5, 8.3.6 is design control. You have design review, design verification, design validation. So all this one could be under one report. Design review, you review the design, mean you design your drawing, review your drawing and you approve on that. So your design output is drawing and review the design review, you review it and you approve on that. And then design verification, some they do the prototype. Prototype they do assembly, prototype in-house, and design they verify the design system. Is that works or not working? So it's a design verification. Validation, design validation means after complete installation your project, or after complete assemble your project and you test run the performance, and mostly the customer will validate. You test run on their production floor so that your project can cater for your use or not. So record, as just now mentioned, you have a design record, design record, and you have the design change notification. If any change on your drawing, okay, after approval, then you have to make sure that is a design change notification. There's a form you need to fill in to notify your relevant department. Then customer drawing or your own drawing, draft or sample, and you have to prove with the design drawing as a design output. Then your final test report, either option report or customer test report, to prove that is the validation completed. This is the design record. Okay, design record. You have the design input. Your design input. So you have to fill what is your input so that next time you easy to trace back, either drawing from customer or sample from customer or by photo, or you get the input from the website. Also consider input. Design output is your complete drawing. So you fill in when is your complete drawing. So then you have the design review, you approve on the drawing, drawing review approval, and you have the design verification, you prototype, then you assemble your product using prototype or it's a sample, prototype and assemble. Then validation, you validate the final test report provided either by internal or customer. Some they provide a commissioning test report, the whole the product manual. Any question? Any change on the drawing after approval, you have to make sure design change notification available, ECR. Then you just fill in what is the changes to make sure in future you understand what is the changes. So what is the requirement? So requirement, you need to have a SOP procedure for design, and also need to have a records for design. Auditor will check your design procedure, then we check evidence of design input, and we will select one project or two project or three project, depend to how the process ongoing. Okay, we select the project. As example, we select three project. Then we are asking from the project, can you show me the evidence for the design input? Can you show the design output got review? And also how your verification done and validation on your design. So you need to show the evidence. And design any change. So if any change, you have to show, you have the design change notification and also the device drawing and how you control the obsolete, the old division drawing. Okay, next, this one is more to purchasing. Design very complete. It's very simple, you see. So purchasing, as usual, you purchase the product. You have to make sure you have the control your supplier. Control your supplier. To control your supplier, you have to make sure your supplier, after implement ISO, your supplier, you have the new selection on the supplier. Then you have the supplier approval list. Then you need to do evaluation at least once a year to evaluate the performance of your supplier or subcontractor. Okay, you can do 100% overall all the suppliers, or you have too many, then you select 10 top supplier or 10 top subcontractor to do evaluation. How top is top is the frequently used is the top. You always use, you always order from that supplier. So it's more important. So for ISO, for this ISO version 9001-2015, you not only to control your purchaser supplier, but you have to control if you have outsourced the project to subcontractor. So you have to do the training for your subcontractor if you have to do the project for you. Briefing, attendance is necessary. Minimum attendance of the training record, attendance training record for subcon, you need to be provided. Training based on maybe understand on your drawing or understand or installation project requirement. Okay, or how to fill in your form for the project. So to control the external provider means supplier or subcontractor. You have a supplier selection criteria for new supplier. You have a criteria to select. You refer to your procedure PU, folder PU under procedure P01 SOP number PU-P01. Has a table, para 5.3 table A, supplier selection criteria. So criteria will break to materials and service. Service means you outsource subcon to do the job. Material means you buy the direct material. Okay, so either if example is a material you buy direct from the supplier, then you have make sure your rating follow the point as listed on the table. Okay, very easy. If your supplier have ISO, then you give 20 points. If not supplier don't have ISO but it can provide the material certificate, you give only 10 points. If they don't have supplier, don't have ISO, they don't have, cannot provide any material report, or then they can provide sample then 5 point. 5 point. If not 0 point. Any question? So the selection is based on the specified in the table. You also have the form, is a supplier selection form. So this one is the table how to fill in the form. Okay, based on this table, you fill in the supplier selection form, and the total point you will have a rating for them, their performance. So for those above 70 points, you can approve as a supplier. Look, those below 70, above 50 can be considered as maybe one-time order only. And below 50, then it's not recommended, can terminate. No need, not allowed to be your supplier or subcon. Next is in the same SOP just now. You can see there's a table 5.4. Table 5.4 will show supplier performance evaluation. Every year you need to evaluate the supplier and also the subcontractor. Then evaluate based on the quality of the product. So you can based on the result A to D. So example, your supplier below average conformance reject, they have a reject more than 10%, then you give 20 point only. If you reject more than 20%, then you have only 10 point. Okay. Delivery on time, service, your rating, service, and pricing. So this one will for the performance. In the record, the record will call it as a supplier performance evaluation summary. From this table A, you record in the supplier performance summary. And total grading, if you are below the point, you have to disqualify unless special approved by the director or top management. And you need to make sure there's a purchaser, you need to prepare and make sure you have an approval supplier list. Either you type the list inside the format approval supplier list, ASL. Okay. You also can just save the file from your system if you already have a system, and you have to save it as on that date before audit, then how many supplier, then who is the supplier, you save it in the list. Okay, you can refer to the system. And any new supplier, you're using supplier or subcon selection form. Okay, subcon selection form. And if you don't have this one, the supplier selection form you need to use when you can start the ISO. And before ISO implement, that one consider your existing supplier or subcon. You no need to do any selection form. Okay, after implement ISO, example you implement in October this year, then make sure October onward, any new supplier or subcontractor, you have filled in the supplier selection form. Okay, and once a year, supplier performance evaluation summary you need to have. You can select top 10, top 20 suppliers, okay, to do evaluation. Top means you always order the material from them or give them a service. And